You found your purpose, and now you're waiting for the next step. I have the big picture. What do I do to get there? So, first of all, we spoke about finding our purpose last week. What is our purpose? And a simple definition or a simple way of finding our purpose is to think about that thing that we could do every single day, that even if we were tired, even if we were mad, sad, happy, ecstatic, we would do it. And we would do it for free. And we concluded that the most interesting thing about this is that the more we focus on our purpose and developing our purpose, eventually we're compensated for that. This is a side topic, but remember this quote, it hits me every time I hear it. Does it make money is not a bad question. Does it make money is a bad first question. The first question should always be, does it have an impact? So today we're going to look at, once we find our purpose, how can we make sure we're living that purpose every single day? So we're going to talk about objectives. We're going to set objectives. So we have the big picture of our purpose. Now, what are some steps that we can set in place to live this purpose every single day? And a big thing we're going to look at as well is what are some what are some obstacles that might come up? Because what's awesome about this and how our brain works is that we can look into the future and think about some obstacles that might come up, think about some situations that might come up, and find the solutions today. So if it ever shows up, we're already ready. So I'm going to read something out of my book called The POLAC System, right? O, the P for purpose, O for objectives / obstacles. So once your purpose is clear, the next step is to set objectives. These are the goals that bring your purpose to life. Objectives give your purpose direction. They build up your big vision in practical steps you can take every single day. I gotta put that emphasis on that. Every single day. Without objectives, purpose stays in your heart and mind. With objectives, purpose becomes movement. Now, I'm pretty sure you've heard it before. If you love listening to motivational speeches, Denzel Washington said, you could run on a treadmill. You could run in place all day and not get anywhere. You need forward movement. Forward movement. So that's what purpose is. Sorry, that's what objectives are all about. All right, and I highly encourage you, if you haven't taken a look, take a look at the POLAC system. It's the simple system that we're looking at every single week. We looked at purpose last week. Today we're looking at objectives and obstacles. So, what are objectives? So I shared with you last week that my purpose in life is to guide people to be the best of themselves, to guide people to live their dreams, to find their purpose. All that comes together. Because I do believe when you find your purpose and you can live that every day, living your dream, our dreams comes with it. Now, what are some objectives that I can put in place to live it every single day? First off, I could do it for myself. So I know for someone to live their best life, you gotta be in shape. You don't have to be on abs or none of that, but you gotta be eating well. You gotta be eating well. Sorry, it's my daughter. You gotta be eating well. You gotta be moving. You gotta be listening to the right things. All right. So as we find our purpose, right, to guide others. The objectives that I set for myself is to move at least for 15 to 30 minutes every single day. Be an example to my team, to my community, to eat well most of the time. You don't have to eat well all the time, but I do need to eat well most of the time. Let's say 85% of the time I got to make sure I'm eating well. And I use the number one nutrition company in the world, which is my company, Herbalife, to fuel my body with the right source. So when you combine my Herbalife nutrition with my meal plan, with my my moving routine, and above that, above all else, the books that I read, the podcasts that I listen to, the podcasts that I listen to, all these are objectives that I put in place. So to read at least one book a month, to work out at least once a day, to eat well. These are all objectives, right? And they all have a certain time to them. So these are all objectives that I set in place to live my purpose. Now, again, you have your purpose. If you haven't found it, make sure you go look at my last video on how to find your purpose. And once you've found it, you're going to have different objectives than I have, unless we have the same purpose, which is it could happen. Now you need to find what your objectives are. It could actually be as simple as waking up early in the morning, journaling, finding 5 new clients tomorrow. It really depends on what you want. But the clearer it is, the better you'll be. The better you'll be better equipped to accomplish these objectives. Because if it's vague, like, okay, I just want to move. Okay, then just take a step forward or take a step back. What do you want to do? What is your purpose with moving? We come back to the purpose. You find your objective. What's the purpose of the objective? So me, by moving, I want to make sure I stay fit for my kids. I want to be more flexible. I want to be stronger. I'm 34 years old now, and I am in the best shape of my life. I think the strongest I've been was probably in the middle of my university career, and I was training like crazy. Now I spend, I think, not even 1/10 of the time, and I'm almost as strong as I used to be. All right. So the clearer it is, I want to work out to stay strong, to develop my flexibility, to develop my mobility, and I have a workout plan. You see, so it's clear. The more my mind is going to be able to stay in line with my objectives, which allow me, in turn, to live my purpose. Now, what are some things that could come up in the future that could stop me from accomplishing my objectives? So we said that some of my objectives is to move, to eat well, to make sure I read my books. One of the obstacles that might come up is, hey, wait, maybe one morning I might wake up and just like, I just want to hit the snooze alarm. I just want to I don't want to get up. So what can I put in place? These are simple examples, guys. All right. But what can I put in place to make sure I don't succumb to that, let's call it, lazy part of me that listens to the feeling instead of what has to get done? Well, as simple as this, you've probably heard it before. Instead of putting your phone beside your bed, make sure you set it on a desk or somewhere where you have to get up to go grab it. So then you're up. Simple example, guys. You find your own. You're going to have this is going to require, it's not just quick. You're going to have to sit down, think of your objectives, and then think of obstacles that might come up. And you might say, but Jay, why would I think of obstacles? Wouldn't that make them happen? Well, the honest answer is maybe, but even if they come up, you already have the solution. And I love this. I love quotes. All right. I heard this from Les Brown. He said, "It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared for it." So that's why, in my opinion, it's better to be ready for situations and then not happen than for situations to happen and I am not ready. I have no idea what's happening, right? So remember this. Once you find your purpose, let's give that purpose life. All right. Let's give it energy. Let's give it movement by setting up little actions that we could take daily. All right. And also, your purpose is the big picture. Within the big picture, your objectives represent the little details of the big picture. So break it down and we'll look at this and the obstacles. Obstacles. Remember that negative is normal. Negative is normal. The day you accept that, that'll be the day that your shoulders just drop just a bit more. All right. Negative is normal. It's not successful. And these are not my words. It's Jim Rohn. Negative is normal. It's not successful, but it's normal. And if we go against that, it's going against the inevitable. Like it's going to happen. Something's going to happen. So might as well accept it. Get ready for it. You see that? You get ready for it. So when it comes up, you're like, hey, just brush it off instead of your whole world just falling down on you. So let's see. So after you're done reading objectives, actually after each chapter, we go through 3 immediate everyday applications. So we're going to go. I love this. So the number 3 action that you could take is to start using a calendar or a habit tracker to check off daily actions tied to your goals. So this creates momentum and accountability. So it doesn't have to be necessarily a checklist, but within your calendar saying, okay, today I'm going to work out. Today I have a meeting with my client. Today I'm having my shake, and so on and so forth. And as you go on, mentally, you're going to start building a momentum. Joshua, já se passei esse mano. Mentally, you're going to start building a momentum. So you'll be more inclined to keep doing it instead of just, half-assing it and eating well once, twice a week and not following up with your clients and moving twice a week when you know you should be moving 5. So you got to build that momentum. All right. And I'll finish on this. You just saw my 2 of my children pass by. Joshua J is my eldest son. He's here. He was here, going through some of his cards. But what I love to do is do things like this in front of him. So his brain registers that, hey, you can do what you want to do. And I had a conversation with him. He's 8 years old. I had a conversation with him just before I jumped on live. I said, Joshua J, whenever you want something, don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't go get it. No, nobody. I told him, not even me. And if ever I tell you something, you say, Dad, remember. And this is to all my parents. Label your kids as great. Give them the opportunity and freedom to be great by labeling them great. It is not up to you to determine whether they succeed or fail, but it is for you to determine whether they can live to their full potential. And how do you do that? You show by example. You do it in front of them. You work out in front of them. You eat well in front of them. You do podcasts in front of them. These are the things that your kids' brains need to register. They don't need all the toys in the world. They need to see daddy and mommy working out, getting in shape, leveling up, reading books. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, last week we spoke about purpose, finding your purpose. This week, objectives and lifelines. Next week, objectives and obstacles. Next week we'll be talking about lifelines. Live lines is one of my favorite parts of the Polack system because I reframed a word to make sure that it fits in to our lifestyle, because the way we speak drastically shapes the way we live. So on that note, stay fit, stay blessed, and keep applying everyday success. It's your boy Avatar Fit. Peace.